I'm trying to pull you out of Babylon, but you won't listen. Heed his instructions. Listen. You're beautiful on the outside, but on the inside you are broken. A false sense of freedom you portray. Daughter, I see straight through it all. You keep making excuses, holding hands with them demons, burdens weighing you down, yeah. Pride won't let you confess what you do when no one's around. It's like pulling teeth to let go of that which has you bound. Don't choose death over life when you're at a night. Want you to be free, yeah. Totally free indeed, yeah. His warning goes out before destruction. Would you please heed the call? His arms are stretched out to you to pull you out of Babylon. I'm trying to pull you out of Babylon, yeah. But you won't listen. Heed his instructions. Yeah. He wants you to open, let him feel your heart. But you won't surrender. No. Just surrender. Very long. Why won't you listen? Yeah, listen. You hear the part for me. If you don't listen.
My son, yes, you're in danger, and you pride yourself in holding in your anger. You look up in the mirror, see a stranger. I'm speaking cause so many got the same hurt. How long will you wait to stay up in this state? How long will it take for you to see the pain? Avoiding all the pain, cause deep down you feel ashamed. You acting like you're strong, but when you cry it falls like rain. You cry when you're wrong. You're back against the wall. You're fighting your depression. It expresses through your wall. Deep down you know you're wrong, but you don't wanna look so. You're holding all these burdens. I'm just trying to get them all.
I'm trying to pull you out of Babylon, but you won't listen. Heed his instructions.
Hear the instructions.
He wants you to open, let him feel your heart, but you won't surrender.
Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. All right, everybody can see and hear me. Can you see and hear me now? Sound is through. All right. Ooh. Say shalom to everybody. Everybody that's on the line. Let's go. Shalom Tavaya. Shalom Ivan. Shalom Akoti Uriel. Elisheba. Kun Rakam. Zakaria. Saint Washington. Absalom. Lashinda. Miss Clam. Strong. Elder Azar. House of Yermayahu. Aaron Thompson. Thompson. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Lisa Yah. Claudine. Maura Parah. Ahmad Tabitha, Joshua Carr, Bathsheba, Ebony, Tashara, Yehukanan, Yasika, Amaruka, Alicia, Anthony C, Malkaya, Elisheba, Kenrick, Gadola, Adria, Miadira, Shakar, Donovan, Alicia, Moray, Takoa, I forgot your Hebrew name. I forgot now. Abad, I think it's Abad Yahoo Dabar. Osea, Michelle, all right, let's keep going. Yehoshep, Miriam, Naala, Emiljan, Noel, Osea, Zach, Barak, Anaya, Elishiva, Anah, Takaya, Ora, Alicia, R. Scott, Wasina, Yoada, Morakana, More Ishaq, Shalom, Amayasharin, Tabitha, Yakuba. All right, I think we got everybody. I'm gonna start right in. I got 6 and 7 on here. We're gonna try to get through 5, 6, and 7 because I don't think I did chapter 5 last time. So we're still on the Sirach series, the Wisdom of Solomon. Hope that this been. Hope it's been ministering to you. We gotta start moving faster though. To get through some of these things. Some aspects we only been able to do the chapter. And some of that is me because I like to expound. So, we'll expound some, but then we're gonna keep moving. So we can start getting through some of it. And then we'll see. We'll see what sticks out to us overall. So honestly, I don't take a lot of time to sit and study before I do breakdowns of this. This really be off the cuff. Because I want to kind of all us look at it together and see what we're seeing in it together overall. So let's see what we see today. Sirach chapter 5, everybody got it? If you got it, say con. I'm waiting on the con. For sure. All right, let's get some wisdom today. Hallelujah. Let's get a little wisdom. Let's see. Sirach 5. Do not rely on your own wealth or say, I have enough. Do not follow your own inclinations and strength in pursuing the desires of your heart. That is important. Do not follow your own inclinations and strength in pursuing the desires of your heart. Do not say, who can have power over me, for Yahuwah will surely punish you. Now, it's so important about the inclinations of your own heart because they come from somewhere deep inside of you that can actually be a false reality. This is why it talks about not trusting your own inclinations and pursuing the desires of your own heart, because even what it says in, I think it's in Jeremiah, this talks about the heart is deceitful, wicked and deceitful, who can know it? Cursed is the man that trusts in flesh. It's so many things from the depths of you that has desires, that has its own ways of coping mechanisms, things desiring from stuff that you didn't receive growing up, that you don't have the right interpretation of how you should feel, how you should be according to reality. A lot of times our interpretation of things that fuels our desires is based off what we feel like from an emotional place is best for us, and it has never been tested and it has never been tried. And this is why we're fueled by our emotions. We're fueled by what we feel. We're fueled about our logic that has been built around our personality, that has been built based on our life experiences. But your life experiences is not the matter that's right or wrong. It's about what you have interpreted about your life experiences, when what you have told yourself, that fuels desires in you, that fuels emotions in you, that fuels what you feel like is best for you. And this is why Yahuwah is saying, do not trust in that, because those things was not set on a rock. That house was not built on a rock. That house was built on sand. It was built on stubble. And you will get desires that pop up at different times based off different phases in your life, even in some of your later years as you get older, that you might not know where it comes from, but you have a strong driving towards it, a strong connection towards it, a strong desire of fulfillment, and it has nothing to do with Yahuwah. It has nothing to do with Yahusha. It has nothing to do with bringing forth his kingdom. But it has something to deal with because we have deficits in us that are vacuums that draws on us, right? So this is why the scripture saying, don't go off your own inclinations. Don't go off what you think. Everything has to be based and centered on Yahuwah. It has to be centered on the word of Yahuwah. It has to be centered on something that's stable, something that is enduring, something that'll last forever. It talks about even the heavens and the earth shall pass away, but what's going to last forever? His word. So why wouldn't I base my being off of what his word has established? Right? It says his word is established and settled in the heavens forever. So if I base my life on something that's enduring through all generations, something that's eternal, something that's going to last from generations to generations, and it's going to be in the world that was past, the world that's present, and the world to come, then I set myself up for eternal rest, right? Eternal rulership. I base my emotions, my will, my intellect, my thinking on something that's stability. So you have to search within yourself, and before you make any decision, your focus, you need to ask yourself, right? It says that our Abba, which are in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven, right? So the goal in life is to manifest his will being done in your life. It's to manifest his kingdom being established. You should have no other goal than that. You have to check the difference between your inclinations and his kingdom, his desires. You have to know the difference. So before I make a decision, I have to ask myself, is this going to manifest his kingdom? Is his will going to be done in the midst of this? If this is something that Zion is going to be able to benefit from, right? That Kabod is not going to just come to me, but it's going to come to Yahuwah. Do I got a word on what I'm starting? And what I'm doing, right? If even when it comes to from a business perspective, even if it comes from whatever, it's what I'm doing helping reverse curses on Israel, right? Is it a stepping stone? Do not saying, all right, it says, let's keep going. Do not say, I sin, yet what has happened to me? For you who is slow to anger, do not be so confident of forgiveness that you add sin to sin. Do not say his mercy is great and he will forgive the multitudes of my sins. For both mercy and wrath are with him, and his anger will rest on sinners. Do not delay to turn back to Yahuwah, and do not postpone it from day to day. For suddenly the wrath of Yahuwah will come upon you, and at the time of your punishment you will perish. Do not depend on dishonest wealth. So that's so true. You have so much focus on Yahuwah's mercy that you done made an idol out of Yahuwah where you can't see yourself in your own error. That in your mind, you're so consumed with the worship of yourself that conviction isn't there no more. Right? You're not sorrowful. Right? Yahuwah cannot send a word that'll snap you back into position. Because you're adding sin to sin. Because what it says, the wages of sin is death. The wages of sin is death. And it don't matter. Whatever you sow, you're going to reap. If you sow to the flesh of the flesh, you're going to reap corruption. So you already have sown to the flesh and got consequences coming. And then you're going to add to that consequence by allowing doing something else, adding to the sin. And then we have this turnoff valve in our mind that we feel like, okay, with ourselves, we don't always receive mercy. And then we end up acting like little Yahuwahs when we judge everybody else, but when it comes to ourselves, we look for mercy. You got to look at Yahuwah looking at everything. You're looking at how much you're speaking on something, how much you're not speaking on something, how much you're moving in Yahuwah, how much you're not moving in Yahuwah. What are your fears? What's making you afraid? He's looking at all of these things. He's looking at them little reasons why you doing the stuff you doing. He's looking at them little reasons what triggered you to say the stuff you said. The manipulation that's in your being that caused you to feel comfortable for having a wrong relationship with control and power. That you need something to control. And if you really want to see the true character of somebody, give them some authority, and you will see where they really at. You'll see what their cabode is in. You'll see if they love to dominate people, to lift themselves up. You'll see how much people respect authority. Some people have inordinate relationships with authority. They despise authority. So this is why anything that they be in, it takes a moment for them to get offended. When they're offended, it's me against the world. It becomes all eyes on me. Inwardly, they have a song playing called Hit 'Em Up. They cannot be in a place of shalom and just seek humility and seek meekness. They got to create some turmoil. Just watch. It got to be some type of turmoil that's created because they despise authority. It can be the perfect situation. And before you know it, they got that little inner song playing. You can hate me now. And nobody's hating them. Nobody hating them. But in their mind, it's me against the world. Let's keep going. But every time they're adding sin to sin to sin, they're not finished getting the consequences of what happened in the last ministry they was in, what happened in the last phase of their life before they then got into something else. And that rebel come, and then sin is added to sin, and then every time they look at it, their life is like quicksand. They standing on something before you know it, they start going down, and then they blaming everybody else for they keep getting the consequences of their actions, adding sin to sin, making an idol out of Yahuwah. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to verse 8. Do not depend on dishonest wealth, for it will not benefit you on the day of your calamity. Do not winnow in every wind and follow every path. Stand firm on what you know and let your speech be consistent. Be quick to hear but deliberate and answer. If you know what to say, answer your neighbor. But if you know not, put a hand over your mouth. Don't just be talking. Just don't be speaking and saying anything. Honor and dishonor come from speaking, and the tongue of mortals may be their downfall. You got to make sure that you're not speaking emotionally. You're not just speaking because of the situation, because of the circumstance. You just talking. You just angry. Honor and dishonor. You don't realize that your sentiments is showing dishonor in your house. Your sentiments is showing dishonor towards your leader. Your sentiments is showing dishonor towards what Yahuwah has established in your life, because you can't. The issue is we cannot recognize who Yahuwah has ordained in our life. That's an issue. We haven't recognized who our mentor is. We haven't recognized who we're supposed to duplicate. We haven't recognized who's our wisdom. We don't recognize who Yahuwah has put in our life to oversee, to help us. And then you'll be in a ministry like this and still looking for life coaches. Because everybody is a TV personality now. Internet personality. All right. In great and small matters cause no harm. Let's keep going. All right, let me go to Sirach 6. I know why my phone doing something crazy like this. Sirach chapter 6. And do not become an enemy instead of a friend, for a bad name incurs shame and reproach. So is it with a double-tongued sinner. Do not fall into the grip of passion, and you may be torn apart like a bull. Your leaves will be devoured, and your fruit will be destroyed, and you will be left like a withered tree. Evil passion destroys those who have it, and make them a laughingstock of their enemies. Pleasant speech multiplies friends, and gracious tongue multiplies courtesies. Let those who are friendly with you be many, but let your advisors be 1 in 1,000. Man, that is wise. Let your friends be many, but let your advisors be 1 in 1,000. Why do you think it's saying that? Because your advisors have to be someone you desire to mark. It says, mark the perfect man, and end of that man is shalom. You ought to be able to see that where this person is where I want to be in terms of the shalom they have in that area. Who am I marking? Who am I modeling myself? Who am I allowing to advise me? There's no way because I'm mad about something that I can have somebody that's on my level or ain't did nothing in life or still struggling, have my same struggles and my same faults, and I'm allow that person to advise me. They're going to advise and strengthen how I feel about something. You're going to let an unstable person, you both are unstable, and y'all going to counsel each other, be each other's advisors. And wonder why you see each other in the same predicaments. Because you're allowing your foolish thoughts and your foolish hearts and your foolish anger that fuels your passions to advise each other. Ain't nothing like two fools advising each other because they're offended. Only place is that is the ditch. You allowing somebody that got anger issues and you both got anger issues to advise you on a situation and a circumstance. You allowing them to warp your perception. Or you still using the perception of your mother, the perception of your father, and you don't want their end. You're trying to duplicate them, but y'all on two different paths. They haven't been exposed to what you have been exposed to. You better start using wisdom around who you're around, who you allow in your presence, who you allow to be even in your homes, what you allow people to say around you, who you get advice from. Because whoever advice you receive, you will receive their end. Advice directs you towards the advisor. Whatever their end is, you will receive it also because you sought out their words to give you a destination where they are. So what if you're on a higher level than them, Rockland, and you getting advice from them and they haven't been established? Now you walk that ladder back down to be equal with where they are because your advice is whoever advice you receives is a dollar, is a door to the advisor. And it ain't just the advice you receive, it's the advice you actually esteem and follow and walk after. Because you need a advice. It ain't just reading the word, but you who is going to establish the word made flesh. There's going to be somebody tangible around you that gives you a target to hit. Well, I got anger problems, and I'm gonna be around people that got anger problems. I'm broke, but I'm gonna be around broke people. You know, I ain't got no wisdom, so I'm gonna be around people that don't got wisdom, and we gonna connect us. We all gonna connect together and start us a little dumb, lack of wisdom group, and everybody in there just throwing stuff out. No growth, no development, because you become who you are around. You become who advice, not that you hear, but who advice you follow. You better, man, you better look at who you're connecting your spirit with. I don't care if y'all in the same assembly in the same tribe. You better start looking and watching and see who I'm gonna spend my time with. Because a companion of fools gonna be what? Destroyed. If I see you foolish, why would I go out my way to spend time with you? Why would I do that? I don't care if we came to rebirth together. You start being foolish, I'm moving. Then before I listen to you, I'm gonna look at your life. I'm gonna watch your life, man. I was like, let me see what you are doing in life. Let me see where you at. Let me see your history. Let me see, do you really got people? Do you really have a name that's through within and without? How much stability do you have? I need that. I got my scripture something. How much stability do you have? I don't care if you got all type of money. Am I going to what place that you going? Do I desire to walk as you walk? All right, let's keep going. Verse, where we at? Let's just go back to verse 5. Pleasant speech multiplies friend, a gracious tongue multiplies courtesies. Let those who are friendly with you be many, but let your advisors be 1,000. Be 1 in 1,000. When you gain friends, gain them through testing, and do not trust them hastily. For there are friends who are such when it suits them, but they will not stand by you in the time of trouble, and their friends are what? And they are friends who change into enemies and tell of a quarrel to your disgrace. That is so true. You bet, boy. You really need to take wisdom to that. It says when you gain friends, gain them through testing. You want to see who has been through the fire. Let me look at this person's character. Let me watch this person's character. under pressure. Let me see what happens with them when they get reproved by something. Let me see their wisdom in the word. Let me see their wisdom with their wife and with their husband. How they do with their children. Or are they just a negative person, a negative Nancy, always upset about something, always got a quarrel. It's always everybody else, and then you're going to go be friends with that and don't think it's going to affect you. Test people, watch them, and pressure. See what type of character that's been built. Quit just going over everybody's house sitting with everybody. They are friends who sit at your table, but they will not stand with you in time of trouble. These be the ones that will come to your house with issues and with problems that's going on with people, that's going on in the assembly, that's going on anywhere. And then they get you to talking. Then all of a sudden, when it all goes down, your name coming up now. And now it look like you the one that started everything. You the one that said everything. And you over here looking stupid. When you are prosperous, they will become a second self and lord it over your servants. But if you are brought low, they will turn against you and hide themselves away from you. Keep away from your enemies and be on guard with your friends. Now, don't take this and you just got a misunderstanding. Now everybody is against you. You got that Nas mentality. You can hate me now. Like, it's really, you gotta look at some of the stuff that you've done. Faithful friends are sturdy shelter. Whoever finds them has found a treasure. Faithful friends are beyond price. No amount can be worth balance their worth. Faithful friends are life-saving medicine. Those who fear you who will find them. Those who fear you who will direct their friendships are right. For as they are, so are their neighbors. Let me ask y'all something. How would you know that a friend is faithful? That's a question. How do you know a friend is faithful? Conduct, fruit of the spirit, they fear Yah. Give me some more. No strings attached. You must experience adversity and endure. Okay. Always giving you sound advice in all situations. Consistent. They're consistent in their relationship with you and through and bad times. They tell you the truth. Your friend will tell you when you are wrong and stand by you when you are right. That's a good point. All right. Let's keep going. My child, from your youth choose discipline, and when you have gray hair, you will still find wisdom. Come to her like one who plows and sows, and wait for her good harvest. For when you cultivate her, you will toil but little, and soon you will eat of her produce. She seems very harsh to the undisciplined. Fools cannot remain with her. She will be like a heavy stone to test them, and they will not delay in her casting aside. For wisdom is like her name. She is readily perceived by many. Listen, my child, and accept my judgment. Do not reject my counsels. Put your feet into feathers and your neck into her collar. Bend your shoulders and carry her, and do not fret under her bounds. Come to her with all your soul, and keep her ways with all your might. Search out and seek, and she will become known to you. And when you get a hold of her, do not let her go. For you, for at last you will find rest, and she gives you, and she will change you into joy, and her feathers will become your strong defense, and her collar a glorious robe. Her yoke is like a golden ornament, and her bonds of purple. You will wear her like glorious robe. If you are willing, my child, you can be disciplined. If you apply yourself, you can be clever. If you love to listen, you will gain knowledge, and you pay attention, you will become wise. Stand in the company of elders who is wise. Attach yourself to such one. Be ready to listen to every good godly discourse, and let no wise proverbs escape you. If you see an intelligent person, rise up early to visit him. Let your foot wear out his doorstep. Reflect on the statutes of Yahuwah and meditate at all times on commandments. It is he who has give insight to your mind, and your desire for wisdom will be granted. All right, this is important. It says, who is wise? Attach yourself to such one. Stand in the company of elders. This go back to the friend thing. It says attach yourself to the company of elders. Why do you think it's saying attach yourself to the company of elders? Because number one, they have been in life long enough to gain wisdom and insight of things that you got to go where they've been. You got to go up there down their trail. And if you trying to dig out your own way, you're gonna hit all the roadblocks blocks that they didn't hit and more. Find wisdom, attach yourself to it. It's not saying attach yourself to some people in your age group, people in your age room, because we got some type of I don't know why we do that. Where we just discredit the elders in the older generation. Now, some of it might be the dynamic that you didn't have with your family. That you always had to be the wisdom. You had to be the one that everybody go to. Even your parents go to yourself. So usually, in your mind, you feel like you are the wisdom. You feel like you are the elder. And then you will put you in a place where there's actually elders that actually has wisdom, and you will reject it. Because you don't know what it is to submit. You don't know what it is to be a daughter. You don't know what it is to be a son. You don't know what it is to deny your own wisdom to get wisdom for somebody that's greater. They got more understanding. They got more direction. And especially if you're corrected, then you'll go into a like they have in jail, a solitary place where you just have to sit in bars because you can't believe that you was wrong. Because you your own wisdom. Everywhere I go, most of the time in my life, I always sought out wisdom from older people. If the older people would allow me to sit in a room and listen, my father used to have other pastors and different ones over when I was younger. I was just go in there and sit and listen to them. Because I needed wisdom from where I'm going. Seek out the elders. Cling to them. Cling to understand. Cling to know. Inspect people before you allow yourself to call them a friend. Before you start spending time with them. See if they're faithful. See if they're true. See what they'll lie to you under pressure. See if they got control issues. See do they like to manipulate to gain control. That's what it talks about, testing. See what'll happen if you correct them in something that they're wrong. See what'll happen if they call you about some gossip and you correct them and get them straight. See how much time they'll spend with you after that. All right, let's go to 7. And they running on a Sunday. All right, we're going to end with Sirach 7 today. I've enjoyed being the youngest in the group because I could learn from my elders. Yeah, I'm the same way. I have usually, in most things I've been in, I have always been the youngest. And right now, in most of my leadership in Augusta, except one of the young men, I'm the youngest. I think the national leadership, I'm the youngest. But I always listen to, and I don't just listen to any elders, because some elders is a fool. Some elders ain't got no wisdom and insight. But I try to keep myself around wisdom, so wisdom can flow out of me naturally, so I can have the wisdom of, I can be young but have the wisdom of the old age. All right, chapter 7. Let's keep going. Do no evil, and evil will not overtake you. Let's start right there. Oh goodness, hey man, that's enough right now. Chapter 7, verse 1, it says, "Do no evil, and evil will not overtake you." You gotta always look at, okay, if I make this decision, if I do this, it's gonna come back. Whatever I sow is gonna come back to me. If I sow seeds of discord, it's gonna come back to me. If I be disrespectful uh, in a or if I diminish the influence of a leader outside of their presence, talking, it's gonna come back to me, but it'll come back to you in a different way. Whatever seeds you sow, and we don't really believe that because we'll do and say anything. Whatever judgment that we put on people, we got to realize that, hey, that measure of judgment coming back. Stay away from wrong, and it will turn away from you. That's why you got to slow down, man. You got to be careful about your decisions. You got to be careful how you look at something. You got to be careful what you do, because it's going to return back to you. Careful how you speak. Do not sow in the furrows of injustice, and you will not reap it a sevenfold crop. Do not seek from Yahuwah a high office, or to seat in a seat of honor from a king. Do not assert your righteousness before Yahuwah, or display your wisdom before the king. Do not seek to become a judge, or you may be unable to root out injustice. You may be partial to the powerful, and so mar your integrity. Commit no offense against the public, and do not disgrace yourself among the people. Do not commit a sin twice, and do not even for one will you go unpunished. Man, that is real. Sometimes we live life so rashly, and where we ain't even considering these scriptures about committing a sin twice. We don't sit there, and when we sin, that is why the sacrificial system was so important, because it allowed you to think about your sin. It allowed you to keep what you did on your mind so you wouldn't happen again. It allowed something to die because of something you did. And that was supposed to be reflective, and you do something outwardly, like an animal had to die because of what you did, and it's supposed to influence you inwardly. But now we have no system of sacrifice or anything like that. So we don't even think about it when we sin. When something bad happened to us, we don't look at, okay, is this a consequence of something that I did? Is this a consequence of something that I said? Is this a consequence of something that I allowed? Where is this coming from? Where, because the causeless curse is not going to come. What have I done to allow this to happen? I'm not going to be going to others trying to see if if they can help me out with that. No, I got to sit here and be real with myself and say, okay, what have I done? Where did this consequence come from? And I guarantee if you inspect your life and go deep enough, you will see, okay, I know why I had this. And some of it is just because you ain't listening to wisdom. You ain't allow people to actually tell you, no, that's not a dude by there. No, you don't need to marry her. No, you don't need to marry him. No, you need to be careful of that relationship with this person. I know how they are. I seen their track record. But where did this consequence come from? And even in each consequence, there is a time of reflection in which you can grow from a perspective of saying, okay, you know what? I see the consequence coming. I'm going to make sure that I hide this in my heart so my pride won't let me be in this cycle again. Because each time you get the wages of sin, you see the wage coming. Or even after the fact, you can look at it and say, you know what? My pride is not going to blind me from this being self-inflicted. So I won't enter into the same cycle. Because some of us, we are like a revolving door. Like the song say, we're going round in circles. We're just going round and round and round, and ain't awakened yet to realize that your pride keep blinding you from seeing where you keep doing the same things, being in the same place, going in the same cycle. You prideful. It's only in humility that I can see why the consequence came, so I can change it. So that's what it means, man. I don't do evil, and evil won't overtake you. Don't do wrong, and wrong will turn away from you. Verse 8, do not commit a sin twice. Not even for one will you go unpunished. Believe that. That'll make you, man, vigilant against sin, vigilant against iniquity, vigilant against wrongdoing. Do not say he will consider the great numbers of my gifts, and I will make an offering to the Most High, and he will accept it. We think that praising the Most High, singing and worshiping to him will stop all these consequences coming, or that'll make up for what we did. Now, we'll do something, and we won't come apologize about it. We just want to just start acting right. We won't come and admit and say, you know what, I did this, and I did that. And then some of us use repentance as a way to show you how I really feel about you. You really ain't sorrowful. You just know you'll come. You know, well, I just wanted to come to repent to you, because I had this wickedness in my heart. Because I thought I thought you was this, and that. And you really ain't sorrowful. You finally got an opportunity to get that off your chest, to say something against a person, so it may rest on them. That's wicked, man. Verse 12, do not devise a lie against your brother or do the same to a friend. Refuse to utter any lie, for there's a habit that results in no good. I'm telling you, if you start allowing yourself to lie, you will become a liar, and it'll come out without you even realizing it. You'll just start manipulating a situation for no reason. You just little lies just coming out of you. Because at the core of you, if the core of you is a lie, you can't help but produce lies. If the core of you is control, you can't help but manipulate. I have to manipulate because I need control. And control that hasn't been given is control that's won by manipulation. If Yahuwah ain't give you that authority, then you done manipulated your way to it, and you have to lie your way to be impressive. And it will destroy you when the image that you desire to have of people is disintegrating in people's mind, you start losing control and you don't know what to do because you want them to see a certain image of you. Do not babble in the assembly of the elders, and do not repeat yourself when you pray. Do not hate hard labor or farm work, which was created by the Most High. Everybody need to have them a little farm. Work hard. Humble yourself to the utmost, for the punishment of the ungodly is fire and worms. Verse 18, do not exchange a friend for money, or a real brother for the gold of a fear. Do not dismiss a wise and good wife, for her charm is worth more than gold. Do not abuse slaves or work faithfully or hired laborers who devote themselves to their task. Let your soul love intelligent slaves and do not withhold from them their freedom. Do you have cattle? Look after them. If they're profitable to you, keep them. That's a great scripture. Do you have children? Discipline them. Do you have children? Discipline them. That means whoop them. Don't spare the rod. You need to get that rod to them. Some children, you can sit there and talk to them all day and give them instruction all day. A Hebrew child needs that rod every now and then. But still, balance it out, show them love, give them direction, make sure they understand. But when you see rebellion, that's when you need to whoop. What does it mean when it says don't repeat the same prayer twice? Just what it's saying. If you said, all right, now if you then went before, like say if you're in the courtroom and you done went before the judge and you done laid out your case, and the judge then granted you your papers to receive what you're going to receive. Say, okay, I grant you this, you got it. But say it take a few days for you to get whatever this judgment is. You wouldn't go back to that judge and ask for the same thing when it already been granted. You just ain't seen it yet because you impatient. He ain't tell you the amount of days that it's going to come, and you keep going to the judge proving the case that already been proven. That's what it means to keep coming to Yahuwah as if Yahuwah has Alzheimer's. Then he done forgot. What it really is, you really don't believe. So it said, don't be praying the same thing. Don't keep repeating yourself. He understands what you're saying. He created language. He created the heart, the soul, the mind, the intellect. All of that. When you come before him and bring your petitions, don't repeat it. I'm saying it in faith and I'm leaving it in faith. And I'm believing it. Now I'm saying Todah Rabbah, Yahuwah, until it's established and manifested in the earth. All right. Do you have daughters? Be concerned for their chastity, and do not show yourself to be indulgent with them. Give a daughter in marriage, and you will complete a great task. But give her to a sensible man. Boy, that is so important. Give a daughter in marriage, and you would complete a task, but give her to a sensible man. That's why you got to be a sensible man, and you got to help her find a man that has the character of the scriptures, and really, if she's been raised right, that has the character of her father. Like me, I'm gonna be looking for men that has my character, because this is what my daughters are used to. This is what has been established before them. They not gonna tolerate something less than the character that I have. Do you have a wife who pleases you? Do not divorce her. Do not trust yourself to one whom you detest. With all your heart, honor your father, and do not forget the birth pains of your mother. Remember that it was your parents who you were born to. How can you repay what they have given to you? With all your souls, fear Yahuwah and revere his priests. With all your might, love your maker and do not neglect his ministers. Fear Yahuwah and honor the priest. Give him his portion as you have been commanded, the first fruits of the guilt offering, the gift of the shoulders, the sacrifice of sanctification, the first fruits of the holy things. What does that mean? At the end of the day, take care of those that have rule over you. Take care of your priests, because they are committed to do the holy things in order to bring you and take you to another level. Now, we ain't got no Levitical priesthood right now sitting in the temples and doing different things, but your leader does all these things for you and for you ruachly. Your mindset should be, hey, I'm finna make sure that my leader is taken care of. And I don't care nothing about what Christianity has done and what all them done done and all that type of stuff. You ain't in that. You got to let me look at the character of this man. Let me look at what this man has established in my life. Look at what Yahuwah didn't use this man to do and where I'm at now. It's saying give him his portion. Take care of him. Be grateful through what you do for him, for what's been established. People don't like that kind of talk right there, though. They think you Creflo Dollar with that. Stretch out your hand to the poor so that your blessings may be complete. Give graciousness to all that living. Do not withhold kindness even from the dead. Do not avoid those who weep, but mourn with those who mourn. Do not hesitate to visit the sick, because such deeds you will be loved. And all you do, remember the end of your life, and then you will never sin. That's powerful. And all you do, remember how your life could end. Your life can end being the sum of your choices. Consider the end of your life. How do you want to live out your days? In shalom? Well, you got to do acts of shalom. In wisdom, well, you have to sow the wisdom now. In shame, keep doing sin and wicked things and watch how you will die alone. And nobody care and nobody there for you. You got to ask yourself right now, if I was to die right now, who would honor me? Have I showed an example enough that great men will come and honor my death? Or have I just been a renegade and a rebel? How you want to be known? Consider the end of your life now. That's a great scripture. Consider how you would die. All right, so that's 6 and 7. We got through three chapters. I think we did through today. We got through 3 of them, praise Yahushua. Hope we said some wisdom for you today to carry you out through the rest of the day. Yeah, go back over those chapters. Those were some powerful chapters. And when the scripture talks about wisdom, this is what it means. Seek after it, man. Go after it. Become it. Live by it. There's no new wisdom in the earth. Go get the wisdom that's there. When you look at, this is what I try to live by. It's not, like Solomon said, there's nothing new under the sun. All the problems that have ever happened in the earth have already happened. So if I got a problem, that's already a solution. My job is to seek it out. You got all the scriptures is wisdom and answers. You got libraries full of practical wisdom and answers. You got online now with all kind of articles and peer review articles about whatever situation you need wisdom in. All right, every time you talk, you give me something to think on. Well, praise Yahushua for that. All right, that is it for today. Y'all got any questions? I want to say again, we will be in California August the 19th. Let me make sure I got that right now. If I say the wrong thing. Yeah, August the 19th and 20th. That's this weekend. How many of y'all gonna see us in California this weekend? We want you to come to both services. How many of y'all gonna come to both services? Only reason we charging because we gotta pay them, man. Them hotels paying for them to be able to rent out for an event is expensive. So we had to put a little something on there. Come on, let me see some more. Y'all say y'all gonna be there. Who all gonna be there? Praise Yahushua. And then remember that in September that we will be back in Toronto on the 23rd and 24th. Make sure that y'all are paying attention to the can we do a service in Arizona? Not right now. Not right now. It'll be great for y'all to come out since we're gonna be out west to come out there in California. But right now we have no plans to come back through Arizona. Not right now, because we're doing a lot of other traveling right now. But we will be in Toronto on the 23rd. Yeah, it's a real need everywhere. It's a real need everywhere. I'm telling you. So make sure. Oh, there you go. Make sure if you're gonna be in California, make sure you register for both events. Register for that Saturday and that Sunday. All right, because we want to see you at both of them. So make sure that you register for both. All right, that is it. That's all the announcements I got. I'm going to get on off. Love y'all. We're going to say shalom.